You know that feeling sometimes when things just seem a bit off, bit unreal, maybe. Like you're watching yourself from a distance.
Yeah. Or like there's a bit of a fog or a sort of glass pane between you and the world. It's a strange sensation.
Exactly. And today we're actually going to dive into those kinds of feelings, experiences of alienation or unreality.
And we've got this really interesting source material. It's basically a set of instructions for keeping a specific kind of diary.
Right. Diary designed for people who experience these feelings to help them observe what's going on.
Yeah, to track it.
Yeah.
So our mission, if you like, for this deep dive is to understand how this kind of structured self-watching, this observation, can actually help make sense of these really complex subjective states.
So it's not about diagnosing anything, right? It's more fundamental.
Not at all. It's about observing. The core idea, really, is just using a systematic approach, documenting these feelings that often feel so, well, slippery and hard to grasp.
Making the intangible a bit more concrete.
Precisely. Giving it some structure so you can actually look at it. And the structure itself is quite specific, isn't it?
Yeah, it involves multiple check-ins during the day. You're asked to rate the strength of the feeling.
On that scale, the 0 to 10 thing.
Exactly. 0 is like, I feel completely present, no detachment at all. And 10 is.
The absolute worst it could possibly feel. Maximum unreality kind of thing.
And just assigning that number, that simple act, seems like it could be powerful.
Oh, definitely. Because you're taking this overwhelming internal feeling and turning it into, well, a data point. It sounds clinical, maybe, but it creates a little bit of distance.
So you can look at it rather than just being in it.
Right, and maybe start seeing things you wouldn't notice otherwise when you're just lost in the feeling itself.
And it's not just the rating, is it? There's more to record.
No, definitely not. Alongside the number, you're prompted to write down, the specifics. What situation are you in? What are you actually doing?
Who are you with? Was it like during a stressful meeting? Or maybe when you were just relaxing?
Exactly, all that context. Because that's how you start connecting the dots, potentially, between the feeling inside and what's happening outside.
Identifying potential triggers, I suppose?
Triggers or even just correlations, it really focuses on the ups and downs. When does it get stronger? When does it fade a bit? How long does it last?
It's like mapping it out over time.
Mm-hmm. And the diary even encourages a bit of active experimentation.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, it suggests deliberately trying different things. Maybe go for a run, call a friend, spend some time outdoors, see how that affects the feeling.
So actively testing things out.
Yeah. And interestingly, it even suggests exploring whether you can consciously try to make the feeling a bit stronger or try to lessen it.
Huh. That's quite hands-on. It really shifts you from just experiencing it passively.
To becoming a kind of investigator of your own experience.
Yeah.
You're basically making little hypotheses. Maybe this helps, or perhaps that makes it worse, and then testing them out.
I can see how that could be empowering. You start to see maybe subtle links, Perhaps you wouldn't normally notice that feeling dips slightly after talking to a certain person. But if you're writing it down.
Right. A pattern might just pop out that was invisible before.
And for people who find it really hard to even describe these sensations, they could be so weird and difficult to put into words.
Absolutely. That's where the structured approach really helps, I think. Instead of just this vague sense of feeling weird or off, you have a log. Intensity, context, changes, duration.
It gives you a language,
Yeah.
almost, even if it's just numbers and situations initially.
Yeah, a framework. And that detailed record can become a really valuable tool just for, understanding yourself better.
So the big takeaway here isn't really about finding a neat label or a diagnosis. It's more about the process itself.
I think so. The power lies in that structured self-observation. Actively engaging with these often confusing experiences, documenting them. It helps you sort of map out your own internal world.
You start to understand the terrain a bit better.
Exactly. Which naturally leads to a question for you, listening.
The final thought. Go on.
Well, how might paying closer attention, maybe more deliberately, to those subtle shifts, in your own feelings, or even just how you perceive your environment? How might that reveal some unexpected patterns or insights about your own well-being?
It's about tuning in, isn't it? Noticing the nuances.
Cultivating that awareness.
Interesting. It's an invitation, really, to become a bit more of an explorer in your own experience. Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.